Hearts can be fragile, and some zodiac signs seem to hold the key to breaking them, sometimes without even realizing it. From the sweetest to the most ruthless, today we're ranking the zodiac signs who leave love both tender and torn. Are you ready to see where your sign lands? 12. Taurus, loyal and caring, they rarely hurt anyone, but stubbornness can cause subtle heartbreak. Taurus, the steadfast bull of the zodiac, is renowned for their loyalty and dependability. When they love, they do so with a quiet, unwavering devotion that is as comforting as it is rare. Their partners often feel safe and secure, knowing that a Taurus will stand by them through thick and thin. They are patient listeners, attentive companions, and thoughtful lovers, always ensuring that their loved ones feel appreciated and cherished. Their love is steady and enduring, not flashy or dramatic, which can be a soothing balm in a world of emotional turbulence. However, beneath this calm and reliable exterior lies a streak of stubbornness that can unintentionally lead to heartbreak. Taurus is governed by Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and pleasure, which gives them a deep appreciation for comfort and harmony. They are not impulsive breakers of hearts, but when they set their mind on something, whether it's a belief, a routine, or a personal standard, they can become rigid. This rigidity sometimes prevents them from adapting to the changing needs or emotional nuances of their partner. For example, a Taurus may insist on doing things their way, convinced that their approach is the most sensible or practical. While this may seem trivial, over time, it can create subtle emotional rifts. Their partners might feel unheard, restricted, or taken for granted, even when the Taurus's intentions are rooted in love and care. They rarely intend to hurt, but their inflexibility can create feelings of frustration and quiet sadness. Another facet of Taurus's heartbreak-inducing tendencies lies in their fear of change and loss. They are deeply attached to the familiar and the comfortable, so when confronted with emotional shifts, disagreements, or the unexpected, they may withdraw rather than confront the discomfort. This withdrawal can leave partners feeling isolated or neglected, slowly eroding the emotional connection. Yet, it's important to understand that Taurus's heartbreak is rarely malicious. They are not the type to play games or manipulate emotions. Their damage comes from a combination of loyalty, routine, and immovable principles. When a relationship falters, it is often because Taurus struggles to compromise quickly or let go of deeply held beliefs, not because they desire to inflict pain. In essence, Taurus breaks hearts not through cruelty, but through the quiet rigidity of their love. Their care is profound, but their insistence on stability and adherence to their way of life can leave even the most devoted partners feeling a sense of longing or frustration. They are the gentle heartbreakers, reliable, loving, yet stubborn to a fault. Their hearts are golden, but the walls they build around their routines and ideals can inadvertently create emotional distance. 11. Virgo, thoughtful and cautious. Their critiques sometimes unintentionally wound hearts. Virgo, the meticulous and analytical maiden of the zodiac, is known for her keen eye for detail and her constant desire to improve the world and the people around her. When it comes to relationships, Virgos are deeply committed and attentive partners. They notice the smallest nuances in behavior, remember little preferences, and often go out of their way to make their loved ones feel cared for. Their thoughtfulness is genuine. They take love seriously and approach it with a careful, deliberate mindset. They are the ones who plan surprises, offer practical help when it's needed most, and provide a steady hand when life becomes overwhelming. However, Virgo's dedication to perfection can also be their undoing in matters of the heart. Governed by Mercury, the planet of communication, they are naturally critical, not out of malice, but because they seek clarity, order, and improvement. This critical nature often manifests in ways that can unintentionally wound their partners. A casual observation or well-intentioned suggestion meant to help may be interpreted as judgment or dissatisfaction. Virgo rarely intends to hurt, yet their words can carry the weight of high standards that feel impossible to meet. Virgos are cautious by nature. They carefully analyze situations and weigh the potential consequences of their actions, including in love. While this prudence protects them from impulsive decisions, it also means they may overthink and overanalyze their partner's behavior. They can become overly concerned with perceived flaws, inconsistencies, or unmet expectations, and this can lead to subtle emotional strain. Their partners may feel criticized, scrutinized, or under constant evaluation, even when Virgo's underlying motive is simply care and desire for growth. Furthermore, Virgo's tendency to internalize their own anxieties can create emotional distance. They are highly self-critical and often measure their worth against their ability to be the perfect partner. This can make them overly cautious in expressing vulnerability, leaving their loved ones unsure of their true feelings. Their logical approach to love sometimes clashes with the emotional needs of more impulsive or expressive partners. Yet, it's this very combination of caution, attention to detail, and sincerity that makes Virgo both endearing and inadvertently heartbreak-inducing. Their heartbreak is not born of betrayal or neglect, but of the impossibly high standards and careful scrutiny they bring into relationships. They offer love that is meticulous, loyal, and profoundly thoughtful. But it can sometimes feel like a mirror reflecting every flaw, creating unintentional pain. In essence, Virgo's love is a careful balance between devotion and critique. They mean well, they love deeply, but their pursuit of perfection can leave hearts bruised even as they are nurtured. Their care is meticulous, but the weight of their expectations can unintentionally fracture the tender emotions of those who adore them. 10. Libra. Charming and diplomatic, they avoid conflict but can leave people confused and hurt. Libra, ruled by Venus, is the eternal diplomat of the zodiac. Their charm is effortless, their smile disarming, and their ability to navigate social situations makes them incredibly magnetic. In love, Libras are attentive, considerate, and eager to create harmony. They are the kind of partner who remembers your favorite things, listens carefully, and constantly seeks ways to make the relationship smooth and balanced. Their natural sense of fairness drives them to treat their partners with care, and they go out of their way to avoid unnecessary arguments or tension. However, Libra's deep desire for peace and balance can also be a double-edged sword. Their avoidance of conflict, while admirable, sometimes leads to indecision and ambiguity. They may withhold their true feelings to prevent upsetting their partner, or they may take too long to make choices, leaving their loved ones frustrated and confused. This tendency to compromise excessively can cause others to feel overlooked or uncertain about where they stand in the relationship. They want everyone to be happy, but in trying to please all sides, they sometimes neglect their own needs or the emotional clarity their partner requires. Libras are highly social and enjoy connection, which makes them excellent at making their partners feel special. Yet, their charm can sometimes be misinterpreted as inconsistency or flirtation, even when their intentions are purely friendly or diplomatic. Their partners may feel unsure about Libra's depth of commitment because the Libra heart often weighs possibilities carefully, striving to maintain equilibrium rather than acting impulsively. This constant evaluation and hesitation can unintentionally create emotional tension, leaving someone feeling hurt despite Libra's good intentions. Additionally, Libras have a strong sense of aesthetics and idealism, which can make them dream of a perfect relationship. When reality doesn't match their ideal, they might withdraw slightly or become indecisive, not out of malice, but because they're unsure how to restore balance. This can leave their partner feeling distant or unappreciated, as Libra works quietly behind the scenes to maintain harmony rather than openly expressing frustration or disappointment. In essence, Libra's love is gentle, thoughtful, and diplomatic, but it can also be perplexing. Their avoidance of conflict while protecting the relationship on the surface can lead to confusion and subtle emotional wounds underneath. They never intend to hurt anyone, yet their constant weighing of feelings and circumstances can leave a trail of mixed signals and unintended heartbreak. Libras love deeply, with grace and charm, but the very qualities that make them so enchanting can also make their relationships feel uncertain and bittersweet. Their hearts are sincere, yet their diplomacy sometimes creates unintentional pain, leaving those who adore them torn between admiration and confusion. 9. Cancer. Emotional and loving, their mood swings sometimes break hearts unintentionally. Cancer, ruled by the moon, is the zodiac's ultimate nurturer, carrying love and compassion in abundance. Their hearts are vast, tender, and deeply attuned to the emotions of those they care about. When in a relationship, Cancers give wholeheartedly. They listen intently, offer unwavering support, and anticipate the needs of their partner before a word is spoken. Their love is protective and devoted, and they often put their loved one's happiness above their own. The warmth they provide feels like a safe harbor, a comforting presence that draws people in effortlessly. Yet, the intensity of Cancer's emotions can sometimes become their own undoing. Being so in touch with feelings means that their moods are heavily influenced by both internal and external factors. A bad day at work, a minor misunderstanding, or a fleeting worry can shift their emotional state dramatically. Partners may find themselves caught in the ebb and flow of these mood swings, sometimes feeling adored one moment and emotionally distant the next. Cancer never intends to hurt anyone, but their deep sensitivity can inadvertently create moments of tension, insecurity, or heartbreak. Cancers are also highly intuitive and empathetic, often picking up on subtle shifts in their partner's feelings. While this allows them to respond lovingly and supportively, it also makes them prone to overthinking or assuming the worst. Small misunderstandings can escalate in their minds, leading to periods of withdrawal, sulking, or passive-aggressive behavior. Their protective instincts can be misread as clinginess, and their need for emotional reassurance can unintentionally make their partner feel overwhelmed or constrained. Moreover, Cancer's love is profoundly loyal, but it comes with an undercurrent of vulnerability. Their devotion makes them sensitive to rejection or betrayal, and when they feel hurt, their response is emotional and heartfelt. They do not easily forget perceived slights, and while they may forgive, the emotional memory lingers, subtly influencing future interactions. This mix of tenderness and sensitivity can create a bittersweet dynamic, where their capacity to love intensely sometimes collides with their own insecurities or fears of loss. In essence, Cancer's heart is a sanctuary filled with love, care, and devotion, yet it is also fragile and reactive. Their mood swings, born from deep emotional awareness, can leave partners navigating a complex sea of feelings, where love and unintentional heartbreak coexist. They love with every fiber of their being, but the intensity of their emotions means that their care, as pure as it is, sometimes leaves a mark of longing, confusion, or emotional turbulence. 8. Pisces. Dreamy and sensitive, but their detachment in reality can leave lovers feeling abandoned. Pisces is the Zodiac's ultimate dreamer, a sign ruled by Neptune, the planet of illusions, imagination, and deep emotions. They navigate life through the lens of intuition and emotion, often seeing the world not as it is, but as it could be. In relationships, Pisces offers a love that feels almost otherworldly, gentle, romantic, and deeply empathetic. They sense the needs and desires of their partner often before they are spoken, offering comfort, understanding, and emotional resonance. Being with a Pisces can feel like being wrapped in a cocoon of care and tenderness, as if they are always attuned to your heart and soul. Yet, beneath this ethereal charm lies a complexity that can create heartbreak. Pisces can become so absorbed in their inner world, their dreams, ideals, and visions, that they occasionally detach from the tangible realities of a relationship. Their desire to avoid confrontation or harsh truths can lead them to retreat into their imagination, leaving their partner feeling unseen or unacknowledged. This detachment is never malicious. It stems from a need to escape discomfort or protect themselves from the harshness of reality. However, for someone seeking steady and consistent emotional feedback, a Pisces' ethereal nature can feel confusing, leaving gaps where reassurance and presence are expected. Additionally, Pisces' sensitivity is a double-edged sword. They absorb the emotions of others so completely that their own identity sometimes blurs with that of their partner. While this creates deep empathy, it can also overwhelm them, causing periods of withdrawal or emotional overwhelm. During these times, Pisces may seem distant, lost in thought, or preoccupied with matters of the heart and spirit beyond their partner's comprehension. Lovers may interpret this as neglect or lack of care, even though it is simply the Piscean way of processing intense emotions and protecting their delicate inner world. Pisces' idealism also means they hold expectations for love that reality often cannot meet. Their hearts crave soulful connection, poetic gestures, and deep emotional resonance. When the mundane or practical aspects of life interfere, Pisces may retreat, leaving their partner feeling adrift and abandoned. Even their acts of love, though genuine and heartfelt, can sometimes feel inconsistent as they are influenced by the ebb and flow of Piscean moods and dreams. In essence, loving a Pisces is like loving a wave. Beautiful, mesmerizing, and profoundly emotional, but occasionally distant and unpredictable. Their dreaminess and sensitivity create a romantic, almost magical experience, yet their tendency to retreat into imagination can leave lovers yearning for grounding and presence. Being loved by a Pisces is an emotional journey, intense, enchanting, but sometimes heartbreakingly elusive. 7. Sagittarius. Free-spirited and adventurous, their need for independence can hurt those who cling. Sagittarius, ruled by expansive Jupiter, is the zodiac's eternal wanderer. They are explorers at heart, curious, bold, and always chasing horizons, whether physical, intellectual, or spiritual. In relationships, a Sagittarius brings energy, optimism, and a zest for life that is contagious. Their laughter, adventurous spirit, and open-mindedness make them irresistible to those who seek excitement and freedom. Being with a Sagittarius often feels like embarking on a journey full of spontaneity, new experiences, and endless possibilities. They inspire partners to think bigger, dream bolder, and embrace life with a fearless heart. However, this boundless enthusiasm comes with a challenge: Sagittarius's deep need for independence. They value freedom as much as love itself, and any attempt to control, restrict, or overly cling to them can push them away. Their heart is generous and warm, but it cannot thrive under possessiveness. Those who crave constant reassurance or try to tether a Sagittarius too tightly often find themselves disappointed or hurt. It's not that Sagittarius doesn't care. They care deeply, but they need a love that respects their space and allows them to roam without guilt. Their honesty, while refreshing, can also sting. Sagittarians are blunt communicators. They rarely sugarcoat their feelings or hide the truth to spare someone's emotions. While this honesty is rooted in integrity, it can inadvertently wound partners, especially those who are more sensitive or prone to insecurity. A Sagittarius will speak their mind, express their desires openly, and pursue what excites them, sometimes leaving those attached feeling sidelined or unappreciated. Sagittarius's unpredictability adds another layer of complexity. Their spontaneous nature and constant craving for novelty can make them appear inconsistent in emotional availability. Partners may feel that the Sagittarian heart is distant or that their affections are temporary, even when that is far from the truth. It's simply that a Sagittarius cannot confine themselves to routine or predictability. Love must coexist with adventure and personal growth. Ultimately, loving a Sagittarius requires trust, patience, and a willingness to embrace their independent nature. For those who can give them space while sharing in their excitement, Sagittarius offers a passionate, lively, and transformative love. For others, their need for freedom can feel like heartbreak, as Sagittarians move swiftly, chasing both life and their boundless curiosity. They break hearts not from malice, but from the inevitability of their wandering spirit and refusal to be caged. 6. Aries. Bold and fiery, their impulsiveness can break hearts in a flash. Aries, ruled by the dynamic Mars, is the zodiac's fearless pioneer. Their energy is magnetic, their confidence infectious, and their passion undeniable. When an Aries loves, they do so with everything they have, head first, without hesitation or reservation. Being in a relationship with an Aries feels like standing next to a spark, exciting, unpredictable, and full of intense emotions. They bring warmth, spontaneity, and an adventurous spirit that keeps partners constantly engaged. Their enthusiasm for life is contagious, and their desire to pursue dreams inspires those around them to rise to the challenge. However, the same fire that makes Aries irresistible also brings the potential for heartbreak. Aries is impulsive. They act before thinking, follow their desires without delay, and sometimes overlook the consequences of their emotional intensity. This can manifest as sudden decisions in love, flaring tempers, abrupt endings, or moments of emotional withdrawal. Partners can find themselves caught off guard, unsure of where they stand, or hurt by the Aries' rapid shifts between passion and detachment. Their honesty is fierce but can be brutally direct, leaving little room for delicate emotions. While they never intend to wound deliberately, their candidness, combined with impulsiveness, can cut deeper than expected. Aries thrives on independence and personal freedom, even in committed relationships. They resist being controlled or confined, and any attempt to curtail their autonomy can provoke tension or conflict. Their heart is generous and eager to connect, yet they demand a love that matches their intensity and drive. Partners who cannot keep pace with their fiery energy may feel overwhelmed or sidelined. Aries' need for action and excitement can also make them restless. Routine, stagnation, or predictability can dampen their ardor, leading them to seek new experiences or challenges elsewhere. Their boldness extends to confrontation as well. Aries will never shy away from expressing anger, disappointment, or dissatisfaction. Arguments can be explosive, passionate, and emotionally charged. While they are quick to forgive, they are equally quick to react, which can leave partners feeling shaken or unsteady. Love with an Aries is exhilarating but requires resilience, adaptability, and a willingness to embrace their fire without fear. Ultimately, an Aries heartbreak is never cold or calculated. It is the result of pure intensity, impulsive passion, and a relentless pursuit of what excites them. To love an Aries is to ride a roller coaster of fiery emotions, thrilling highs, and sudden jolts. Those who cannot match their pace may be left bruised, but those who do will experience a love that is vivid, unforgettable, and deeply transformative. 5. Aquarius. Detached and unpredictable, their sudden disappearance leaves a lasting sting. Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, is the zodiac's visionary and iconoclast. They march to the beat of their own drum, valuing freedom, individuality, and mental stimulation above all else. In relationships, Aquarians are intriguing and magnetic. Their originality, wit, and unconventional charm draw people in effortlessly. They have a way of making others feel seen on an intellectual level, engaging in deep conversations, sharing unique perspectives, and creating emotional connections that feel both exhilarating and rare. Being with an Aquarius is like stepping into a world where anything is possible, full of spontaneity, surprises, and limitless curiosity. Yet, the very traits that make Aquarians captivating also make them prone to heartbreak. Their independence is paramount, and they resist any form of control or constraint. While they are capable of deep affection, they often maintain an emotional detachment that can confuse partners. They love on their own terms, and may withdraw when situations feel restrictive, overwhelming, or mundane. This detachment is not born from malice, but rather a need to preserve their autonomy. Partners can feel blindsided when an Aquarius retreats or disappears, leaving a void that feels sudden and inexplicable. Aquarius's unpredictability adds to the emotional complexity of loving them. They rarely follow conventional paths, and their decisions can seem spontaneous or erratic. This can create a sense of instability in relationships, especially for those who crave certainty and routine. An Aquarian's mind is always racing, exploring ideas, visions, and possibilities that may feel distant or inaccessible to a partner. Their desire to experience life fully can sometimes override emotional obligations, leaving loved ones feeling abandoned or undervalued. Despite these challenges, love with an Aquarius is intensely rewarding for those who understand them. They offer mental stimulation, a sense of adventure, and a partnership that encourages growth, individuality, and shared exploration. Their loyalty is real, but it manifests differently from other signs. They are not possessive or clingy, and their care is expressed through respect for personal freedom rather than constant attention. Ultimately, the heartbreak left by an Aquarius is subtle but profound. Their sudden absence, emotional detachment, and refusal to conform to expectations create a lingering ache in those left behind. They remind us that love does not always mean possession, and that some hearts are meant to soar freely. Loving an Aquarius teaches resilience, patience, and the bittersweet beauty of fleeting, unpredictable affection. 4. Leo. Proud and passionate, their drama can crush those who fail to keep up. Leo, ruled by the sun, embodies charisma, intensity, and an unyielding sense of self. They radiate warmth and energy, drawing people toward them effortlessly. Being in a relationship with a Leo feels like basking in sunlight. There's exhilaration, admiration, and a powerful sense of being seen. Their confidence and magnetism are intoxicating, making partners feel special and cherished. A Leo's love is grand, bold, and unapologetically passionate. They give their hearts fully, with flair, and expect the same intensity in return. However, this very passion is double-edged. Leos crave attention and validation, and when their efforts are met with indifference, it can sting deeply. Their pride prevents them from quietly accepting neglect or disrespect, and they often respond with dramatic gestures or emotional intensity. For someone who cannot keep up with their fiery nature, loving a Leo can feel overwhelming. The emotional highs are exhilarating, but the lows can be devastating. Their displeasure or disappointment is rarely subtle. It comes with a force that can leave a partner reeling. Leos are natural leaders, and in love, they often assume the role of the dominant partner. While this can be inspiring and protective, it can also feel controlling to those who are less assertive. They are honest and direct, never hiding their feelings, but their bluntness can sometimes wound unintentionally. A partner who fails to match their energy, ambition, or emotional intensity may quickly find themselves on the receiving end of hurtful truths or dramatic confrontations. Despite the potential for heartbreak, Leo's love is unforgettable. They infuse relationships with vitality, creativity, and a sense of grandeur that few can rival. They love to celebrate, to lavish attention, and to create memories that linger long after the relationship ends. Their generosity of spirit and loyalty are real, but they demand respect and admiration in return. To disappoint a Leo is to awaken their fire, which can scorch but also illuminate the depth of their passion. Ultimately, heartbreak with a Leo is intense and theatrical. Their pride, passion, and dramatic nature ensure that those who fail to rise to their level of commitment or enthusiasm feel the full force of their emotions. Yet, for those who can match their fervor, Leo offers a love that is thrilling, inspiring, and profoundly memorable, a blazing flame that warms the soul, even if it occasionally burns. 3. Gemini, flirty and changeable, hearts are broken simply because they can't commit consistently. Gemini, ruled by Mercury, is the zodiac's eternal communicator, thinker, and social butterfly. Their charm is effortless, and their wit is magnetic, drawing people in with playful conversations, teasing smiles, and the promise of fun and excitement. Being with a Gemini feels like stepping into a whirlwind of ideas, laughter, and spontaneity. They keep relationships alive with constant stimulation, surprises, and intellectual engagement. To be loved by a Gemini is to feel seen and entertained, as they notice the details that others might overlook and respond with clever, sometimes flirtatious attention. However, this very fluidity that makes Gemini so captivating also makes them emotionally unpredictable. Their restless energy and curiosity often prevent them from fully committing, leaving partners unsure where they stand. A Gemini's love is versatile and exploratory. They crave novelty and mental stimulation, sometimes at the expense of stability. Their dual nature, the twins, means that one moment they may appear deeply connected and affectionate, and the next detached or distracted. This inconsistency can leave partners feeling hurt, confused, and longing for a steadiness that Geminis struggle to provide. Gemini's tendency to explore all possibilities in life and love makes heartbreak almost inevitable for those who fall too deeply. They are not cruel, but their need for freedom and variety often leads to situations where feelings are unintentionally hurt. Their flirtatious nature is part of who they are. It's how they interact with the world, but it can be misread as inconsideration or inconstancy. Partners may find themselves competing with an internal curiosity that Gemini cannot easily suppress, resulting in emotional turbulence. Despite this, Gemini's love is exhilarating and transformative. They awaken curiosity, encourage growth, and push their partners to think differently. Relationships with them are never boring. They challenge norms, inspire exploration, and make everyday moments exciting. The heartbreak that comes from a Gemini often stems not from malice, but from the impossibility of containing their ever-changing mind and heart. Ultimately, loving a Gemini means accepting unpredictability and embracing mental and emotional stimulation. Their broken promises or sudden distance are painful, yet the joy, laughter, and insight they bring into a relationship leave a lasting impression. The hearts they touch may sometimes feel fractured, but the experiences, lessons, and memories they create are unforgettable. A bittersweet mixture of love, excitement, and longing. 2. Capricorn. Calculated and ambitious, they sometimes sacrifice feelings for goals. Capricorn is the zodiac's determined architect, ruled by Saturn, embodying discipline, strategy, and long-term vision. When it comes to relationships, they approach love with the same seriousness they bring to their careers and personal ambitions. Their loyalty is steadfast, and once committed, they give their partner stability, protection, and a sense of security that few other signs can offer. They are reliable, practical, and often the ones who quietly carry the weight of responsibilities, ensuring that their loved ones are cared for in every possible way. However, Capricorn's dedication to their goals can sometimes overshadow the emotional needs of those closest to them. They prioritize achievement and long-term planning, which can make their romantic partners feel secondary or neglected. This tendency isn't born out of malice, but from an internal drive that compels them to build, plan, and secure the future. Love for a Capricorn is serious, but it must coexist with ambition and purpose. Emotional whims and spontaneous displays of affection may seem less urgent compared to their overarching life goals. Their approach to heartbreak is similarly calculated. Capricorns rarely lash out or create drama. They process feelings internally, often bottling emotions to maintain control. When they do cause pain, it is often because they make choices that align with their vision for the future rather than with immediate emotional satisfaction. For example, ending a relationship that could hinder personal growth or stability might feel like a necessary but painful decision. This calculated emotional sacrifice can leave their partners feeling abandoned or undervalued, even if the Capricorn acts out of practicality rather than cruelty. Capricorns are masters of self-control, which means their heartbreaks are rarely explosive but deeply cutting. They think long-term, and when they withdraw, it is often irreversible. Once they determine a path, they follow it without wavering. They can unintentionally leave loved ones feeling unappreciated, confused, or longing for more warmth and spontaneity than the Capricorn is willing to provide. Yet, when Capricorns do invest emotionally, their devotion is unmatched. They love with a steady intensity that can endure trials and time. Ultimately, loving a Capricorn requires patience, understanding, and respect for their ambitions. The heartbreak they inflict is subtle but profound, rooted in practicality rather than passion, planning rather than impulsivity. Their love may not always be dramatic or expressive, but it is enduring, sincere, and transformational. The lessons learned from a Capricorn are about resilience, loyalty, and the sometimes painful balance between ambition and emotion. 1. Scorpio. Intense, possessive, and consuming. When they break your heart, it's unforgettable and deep. Scorpio is the zodiac's emotional powerhouse, ruled by Pluto and Mars, embodying depth, intensity, and transformation. When they love, they do so with every fiber of their being. Their passion is all-consuming, their desire profound, and their devotion unwavering. A Scorpio's love is rarely casual. It is transformative, magnetic, and often life-altering. They see into the heart and soul of their partner, understanding needs, fears, and hidden desires that others might miss entirely. To be loved by a Scorpio is to experience a connection so deep it can feel almost otherworldly, as if they merge their very essence with yours. However, this intensity comes with a dark side. Scorpio's emotional depth can make them possessive, jealous, and sometimes controlling, especially if they sense betrayal or disloyalty. Their heartbreak is not superficial or fleeting. It is volcanic, leaving marks that linger long after the relationship ends. When Scorpios withdraw or end a bond, it is often final and irrevocable. They do not forgive lightly, nor do they easily forget. The pain they can inflict is psychological and emotional, cutting to the core because they understand exactly where it will hurt the most. Scorpio's approach to heartbreak is both profound and strategic. They feel every emotion fully, and their reactions are fueled by an intense inner world. Betrayal or dishonesty triggers a calculated response, quiet, precise, and often unforgettable. Unlike more impulsive signs, Scorpios do not act out of rash anger. They let the emotional currents build, observing and internalizing until they decide how to respond. Their vengeance, if provoked, can be as meticulous and relentless as their love, making their presence unforgettable even in absence. Yet, beneath the intensity lies a capacity for transformation and healing. Scorpio's love teaches resilience, self-awareness, and emotional depth. Those who survive a Scorpio's heartbreak often emerge stronger, wiser, and more attuned to the intricacies of human emotion. While the wounds may be deep, they carry lessons about trust, passion, and the power of truly feeling. To be loved and to be hurt by a Scorpio is to experience the extremes of human emotion. Their hearts are not divided, they invest completely, and the impact of their love or the pain of their departure is lasting. Scorpio's heartbreak is unforgettable because it is profound, consuming, and intensely real. A love that transforms as much as it wounds, leaving a mark on the soul that endures long after the story ends. And there you have it. The Zodiac signs ranked from the sweetest hearts to the most ruthless heartbreakers. Each sign loves in its own way, some with gentle care, others with an intensity that leaves an unforgettable mark. Which sign has ever broken your heart or captured it so completely you'll never forget? Drop your experiences in the comments, share this video with someone who needs to see it, and don't forget to subscribe for more Zodiac insights. Your next cosmic revelation is just a click away.